Hi Capricorn, welcome to September. This is Teresa from Tarot by T, and I'm getting ready to do your reading. And before that, I want to call in some good energy and create some sacred space around this reading. And I want to say thank you for liking and subscribing to my channel. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for commenting. I really appreciate hearing the feedback from these videos. And also, for those who have ordered readings, thank you for your support. I really value your business, and I'm happy to work with you. And I'm glad that these readings are helping people. So, what's going on in September for Capricorn? We have a new moon in Virgo, which is favorable to your sign, and a full moon in Aries, which could bring a little tension because it's T-squaring Saturn. But we'll get into that later. In the meantime, and also Mercury and Mars are now moving forward. Saturn, your ruling planet, is going to move forward September 6th, and Pluto will be moving forward at the end of September. So things are coming back online. The delays are becoming less. You won't be feeling so much stuck. Things are going to start to move. So let's see what's going on for Capricorn. What does Capricorn need to know about love and relationship for the month of September? And sometimes, these readings also have information on career. And I just read the cards as they fall. So, let's see what we have for Capricorn. What does Capricorn need to know about love and relationships for the month of September? May only the highest forces be present to ensure that the truth be told. What's coming up for Capricorn? The Six of Swords, the Seven of Pentacles, the Four of Swords, the Knight of Wands, the Six of Pentacles, the Queen of Swords, the Three of Cups, the Judgment, the Hangman, the Ace of Swords. Okay. So you're definitely moving on from something. I mean, you've got all these cards about moving away, movement. Six of Swords, you're moving away from difficulty and moving toward greater harmony. You're leaving troubles behind in September. So whatever was worrying you, you have the Seven of Pentacles. This is a card of anxiety over, you've planted some seeds and you're like, is this ever going to bear fruit? Is all my work, am I ever going to see results? And you're having some doubts about that. You've been having doubts, like you're thinking, I'm working in vain. I'm doing all this stuff, I'm not seeing results. But that's going to end. You're going to start to see the results. The results are going to start to come back. You have two sixes, which is harmony, balance, things, reciprocation. This card is about giving and receiving. And sometimes it has a karmic aspect to it where, you've put a lot of energy into something and you haven't seen the results till now because all these planets have been retrograde, including your ruling planet, Saturn. Saturn has been asking you to reevaluate what you're doing and making sure that you're seeing things realistically. When Saturn starts to move forward, though, it's going to bring you forward as well. So that's happening on September 6th. So this is a card of moving forward, moving away from difficulty. So if you've had problems in a relationship, maybe you've had to have a talk with someone, and that conversation will lead to greater harmony. Because I feel that you can improve things. You have the Four of Swords in the past, so there could be someone in your life who's going through. You might have taken time out to heal, either you or your partner. Maybe you had a little bit of a separation, where you decided, we need some time away from each other to see what we want. Where do we want to go with this? It could be someone who's healing, needing time to rest and to heal. Maybe came through a very difficult period over the summer where you were working really hard or struggling with something, and now you're needing rest in September. This could also be someone close to you that you feel has a health issue. They need healing. They need a time out. You have this Knight of Wands, so you could have been dealing with a fire sign. But this person, so that could be Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. And this person, while they're a lot of fun, well, you know, they're a lot of fun when you're with them, but they're not very reliable. They make promises that they don't keep, or you can't really count on them. When you really need someone, they're just not there for you. So you could be thinking, well, you know, yeah, this person's a lot of fun, and I really like when they're around, and we have a lot of laughs, but then they're just gone, and then I'm alone, you know, and I have no one to help me, or I don't feel like I'm really connected to someone. This can also mean that you're thinking about changing jobs or changing where you live, or you recently moved to a new location, or you're planning that. You're thinking about it. Because that often comes up. It's like you're ready for adventure. You want to have more adventure in your life. Maybe you've been working really hard, and you know your relationship has been stagnant, and now you want adventure. So you might have had some dealings with someone who brought a little excitement to your life, but now they're kind of fading. The Six of Pentacles. This is a card about give and take. So it's possible that you were giving a lot to this fire sign, and they weren't giving enough back. You know, they were like, yeah, you know, they call you when they need you, but then when you need something, they're not there. And so you might be starting to think about that. You know, maybe I need to move away from this. Maybe I need to find someone who is there for me. So you're doing some critical thinking in September. You have this Queen of Swords here. The Queen of Swords could be someone that you're involved with that could be an air sign. So it could be Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. And this person, she might have, he or she, and this could be male or female because the court cards can represent either energy. The Queen of Swords energy is someone who's been through a lot in life, and it's made her tough. It's made her very independent. She doesn't know, she's not used to counting on other people to do things for her. She's used to just doing it all herself. And that could even be your energy, because Capricorn is very take charge. You know, you like to do things, you don't like to feel dependent on others. So maybe you've been isolating yourself and doing it all and not asking for help, because Capricorn doesn't really like to ask for help because they see that as a sign of weakness. So maybe in your relationship you have to have a conversation with someone and say, you know, I could really use your help. You could also be, so if you're not dealing with a Libra or a Aquarius or a Gemini, you could be dealing with someone, this could represent your energy, is what I'm saying, where you're building walls around yourself and you're just taking on a lot and you're doing a lot. And you're saying, and now you're starting to question, you know, where's all this getting me? What's in it for me? I'm doing all this work. When am I going to see the reward? So this is a card of having to, the Queen of Swords is also a good communicator. And it's also a card of making decisions based on logic and not on emotion. So if you've decided to stay in a relationship because of emotion, but it's not really practical, it's not really good for you, you may decide to move away from it. Because I'm seeing here the Hangman. This is a card of giving something up for something better. And the Judgment. The Judgment is a wake-up call. It's awakening. Realizing where you need to change. And realizing that you're the one who has, if this is your environment, and it has to do with rebirth. But it's not going to just fall in your lap. It has to do with, you have to take action. You have to look seriously at your situation, at your relationship, and see, is there anything I'm doing? You have to really, you know, be introspective in September. What am I doing to block myself? What am I doing that's causing problems in a relationship? Is there anything I'm doing? Not just not just focus on the other person, but also focus on you. Now there is a possibility that there is an imbalance in the give and take. So one of you in a partnership could be giving more than the other, and you have to fix that. You have to, you know, and you can do that through communication, because the Six of Swords is also about, all the swords are about thinking, logic, and communication. It's a mental energy. So you have to solve the problems through using your head, doing something strategic, not reacting emotionally. So if you're having an argument with someone, don't react in an emotional way. Have a calm conversation. Hey, sit them down and say, this is what I need. This is what would make me happy. This is what, how I think we can improve our relationship. And, you can improve things. If you find that the person you're dealing with is not willing to work with you, then you may decide to walk away. Because you have this judgment. You have the Three of Cups, though. And that's a card of celebration. Party, celebration, engagement. But it's in your negative thinking. So maybe a part of you is afraid, like, oh, I don't know. If I put myself out there, I don't know if this is going to work out. You have doubts because you might be doubting that anything good could happen in this situation. And you shouldn't do that because your thoughts create your reality. So you have to control your thoughts too and think positive and expect a positive outcome. And this is a card, you have more support than you realize, and you have more love in your life than you realize. You just haven't been seeing it that way. You've been focusing on the negative. You need to focus more on the positive and communicate and ask for the help. Maybe you've been expecting people to read your mind or expecting people to know what you need. You have to ask, because this is also a card of working on yourself, taking charge of your life, and making change happen. With the Judgment, you may wake up, you're going to have an awakening in September, where you're going to realize, you know what, I need to take action. Because here you are with the Ace of Swords. This is the card of action, the warrior card. Your energy has been activated. Mars is going to start moving forward. Saturn's moving forward in September. Pluto at the end of the month. So September is going to be a month of action for you. If you're not happy in a relationship, you're going to take action and you're going to do something about it. If you're not happy in a career situation, you're going to take action. You're going to do something about it. You're tired of waiting. The Hangman is a card of patience. Like, you have to have patience. Like, I've been waiting for so long. I feel like I'm in limbo. I'm stagnant. Nothing's moving. Because this is in your wish fulfillment. Like, my wish is, I've got all these dreams. I've got all these plans and projects. But nothing is moving. And you're getting frustrated. Well, things are going to start to move in September. But it's because of what you do that's going to make things happen. It's not, you can't sit around and think, okay, when is it going to come in? When is this going to happen? You have to take action and make things happen. And with the Hangman, some of you may decide to move from something, give something up for something better, to move on from something. And it feels like a sacrifice because, if it's a relationship, it's not that the relationship is that bad. It's not like you're existing in a hellhole kind of situation where you're just tormented. But you just know that something's missing, that something's just not right. And you want more, and you can get more. And you shouldn't settle for anything. Don't settle for less. The Hangman, so whatever you're giving up may feel like, I'm not totally unhappy here, but I know the new situation is going to make me it's going to be much better for me in my life. And with the Ace of Swords, this is also a time card. And it relates to September. So September is like full speed ahead. Take action. That's the card of new ways of thinking. And aces are new beginnings. And with the swords, it's a new way of thinking about something. So you may have a new way of thinking about a relationship where you decide to take action instead of waiting for things to happen. Instead of waiting for the person to give you what you need, you may start asking, like, hey, you know what? I need this. I need you to do this for me. I need that from you. This is how I can feel valued and loved. If you would help me with this, or if you would do more of that and do less of this, And so you're going to have these conversations, and I feel like it may change things for the better. Even though you're afraid of it, it could lead to success and celebration in a relationship. It could lead to success and celebration in a career situation. But nothing is going to happen until you make it happen. That's the message of these cards. It's time to drop the people that are not reliable. If someone is promising and not delivering, maybe you need to move away from that and move on to someone that is more stable, someone who's giving you what you need. So it could be this Queen of Swords. You might be dealing with an air sign that's may not be very emotional. Maybe you see that person as being a little too critical or a little too cool, too independent. But maybe if you drop your guard and have that conversation, you could bring this person out of from behind the wall. Maybe they just have a wall up because of things that they've been through in the past, and they're afraid to trust again. So if you could break through that wall, you might be able to have a strong connection. Let's see what the cards have to, the stars have to say. So the new moon in Virgo is happening in your 9th house. So that's the house of higher education, learning, travel. You might be thinking about moving to a new area or a new location, or you might be thinking about returning to school to learn new skills, because higher education, it's about learning, teaching and learning. So if you're not the teacher, you might be the student in September. Either you're teaching and sharing your knowledge through it could even be through social media or the internet, and you're reaching a global audience. You might be more involved with internet or a global reach. And because also you have Neptune in the 3rd house, which is the house of communication. So, and that's also the house of contracts. So if someone presents you with a contract to sign in September, you want to check all the details and make sure you're getting everything you deserve, because there could be some confusion or miscommunication or misunderstandings around contracts at this time. So just look at all the details. You have Jupiter and Venus in your 11th house. This is the house of abundance and friendship. You might be joining a new group that really has a positive influence on your life, that is helping you to achieve your goals. So you might be getting involved in a social cause in September. Or you might be making new friends that you feel are more in line with who you are and what you want for your life. It's also bringing abundance to your income, because the 11th house is the money you make from your career. So you could get some type of increase in salary, or you're actually working on something that's involving creativity that's bringing joy to your life. Uranus is going through your 5th house, and Pluto is in your 1st house. Your 1st house, Pluto in the 1st house, is transforming how you're seen in the world. So you're starting to be seen as someone in a position of power, someone who making a presence. You're making an impression on powerful people. You're making a favorable impression. And with Jupiter in the 11th, you could get the help of a powerful group that wants to work with you. Uranus in the 5th could bring love, spontaneous, out of the blue. You could be connecting with someone that you least expected to connect with. Mars and Pluto in your 1st house, you're putting yourself out there with the new moon. So if you have anything to start in September, at the new moon, start it. You have a lot of positive energy, because this new moon is sextile Jupiter and trine Pluto. So that's your 1st house and your 11th house. You can achieve a dream. When Pluto and Jupiter are sextile, it's the wealth building aspect. So whatever you're starting in September could bring abundance your way. Venus is opposing Uranus, so you could have a relationship suddenly become fulfilled out of the blue. You could, maybe if you've been dating someone for a long time, they finally want to commit and they want, let's do it. Or you could just suddenly meet someone through some type of creative project that you find a strong connection with. You never know what to expect with Uranus. So now the full moon in Aries, that could be a little bit tense for Capricorn, because Aries is a square aspect to Capricorn. That's falling in your 4th house. So you may have, and it's affecting your 10th house. So something comes to completion with home and career at the end of the month. You may finally make a decision about your career, or even where you live. Maybe decide you want to move, or you want to change jobs. You're going to see the truth by the end of the month, and that'll help you make your decision. Saturn will be in your 1st house at the time, T-squaring this. So it's like, it's time for you to take responsibility for your life. It's time for you to put the energy out there to get what you deserve. So if you've been procrastinating and, hemming and hawing and not really wanting to make a decision or make a move, everything's going to come to critical mass at the end of this full moon. And you're going to have to make a decision. You're going to see the truth, and based on that truth, you're going to start to take action. The North Node is in your 8th house, so part of this can involve confronting your demons, confronting blocks to intimacy. You know, what am I doing that am I afraid of intimacy? Because you really need a strong, intimate connection. You don't want to be in a relationship that's just superficial. You want a deep involvement, and you can have that, but you have to work toward it, and you have to realize what to let go of. Because there could be some blocks within yourself that's preventing intimacy from happening. Mars in your 2nd house is squaring Uranus in your 5th house. So you could have arguments with people over money. There could be a relationship that's maybe expecting you to pay for everything. And you feel like, I just can't keep being the sugar daddy or the sugar mama. You have to do something too. Especially with the 6 of Pentacles. That give and take, there's an imbalance. So your bills are going to rise in September. You may not have the money to spend to help others. You might have to draw the line and set some boundaries and say, hey, look, I don't have the money right now because I have all these expenses. But it's also going to be Mars in your 2nd. Let me just make sure. Yeah, Mars in your 2nd is also going to have you thinking about, am I getting paid what I'm worth? Am I getting back what I'm giving? And if you're not, you have to work on that issue. Work on your self-esteem. Work on fighting for what you deserve. So that's my forecast for that is my forecast for September. To recap, you're definitely going to be moving on to something better in September. And you're going to see the truth in your relationships, and you're going to see the truth, both business and personal. I feel like this affects your whole life. It's going to affect not only your home life, not only your relationship life, but also your career and your status in the world. Because you're going to be coming online in September. All the energies that were blocked over the summer are going to start to move forward. And you're going to have to make some decisions and figure out, where do I want to go with this relationship? Do I want to make a commitment? Where do I want to go with this career path? Is this enough for me? Am I getting what I deserve? Am I getting paid what I'm worth? If the answer is no, you're going to take action to make things better. And you can. And you'll be celebrating your success down the road. This is a month of action. It doesn't promise results. The results will come later. But right now you have to take action. You have to see the truth and take action. So that's my forecast for September, Capricorn. I hope this reading was a help to you, and I wish you much luck and much energy and much love. Enjoy September. I will talk to you again next month. Okay, thanks for listening. Bye now.